Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tattooing Network.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
John Archiquette.
Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Matt Turner.
I'm not afraid.
And Joshua Gray.
You will be.
What's going on, Outriders? John, Josh, and Matt back at you from a little respite we had last week, but we're all rested up and refreshed. Or I am, at least.
I'm always refreshed.
You're
cool
refreshing.
And refreshing.
Yeah.
Refreshing, maybe. I don't
Crisp.
know.
Like a soda.
You're what it's like to chew 5 gum.
That's right.
Oh, God.
Yay, we had a week off.
We did. And, Josh got his movie premiere out of the way. So
Documentary, please.
Documentary, I'm sorry.
You weren't at the
there was
Chinese
no red carpet.
theater.
I was very disappointed.
So
Did you wear a tux? Did you wear a tux?
I did not wear a tux.
Did you wear a tux? Oh.
No.
Do you have a star on the Walk of Fame now?
I don't, unfortunately, but we'll see. My career is yet young.
Do you know that actually has nothing to do with the merits of the people being interred upon the walk?
Yeah, you buy it.
Yeah, well,
You buy
that
it.
too.
Wait,
but
what?
it's
You
also
buy it.
bestowed by the city, mostly as a tourist attraction.
Oh, so you don't actually have to achieve some great feat?
Nope. They have to like you.
And you also pay the city.
And you pay the city.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I never plan on having a star on the Walk of Fame anyway.
I
so.
will buy you one.
All right. Actually, if you guys, any listeners out there who wants to start a petition to get the Legion Outriders our own star on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Patreon us.
Wow.
What? Is that
The humility coming off of this podcast
Is that a little
right now.
bold after taking a week off? We just come out with
Jeez.
this Walk
You're
of
like,
Fame.
oh yeah, BT dubs.
Yeah, you've seen our numbers, right?
Through the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to be back, though.
I hope everybody had a good Halloween. That was what it was, right?
Halloween, Election Day, movie premieres. Yeah, all kinds of stuff over here.
You take 1 week off and the whole world keeps passing you by.
That's true.
John and I made a decision at lunch, by the way.
Oh.
We're now a sports podcast. Because we were talking at lunch, and
is it that time again this year?
Yeah, it
I
sounds a lot
like
better. That we're gonna talk about the evils of the NCAA today.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody knows they're horrible. So
they are pretty much the evil empire.
I mean, there's nothing to talk about there.
It's between them and
case
FIFA.
closed.
Like I said, there was for a while where I thought Sepp Blatter was the personification of Emperor Palpatine.
You're doing it. You're doing it.
Hey, our European friends out there will enjoy it.
Yes.
Okay.
We got to give one to them every once in a while.
That's fair.
We did enough, football jokes and baseball jokes for a while. So
it was between him and Pope Benedict. Which one was actually Palpatine?
They did some kind of DBZ merger with our powers combined.
Wow. That's some next level nerdy right
I know,
there.
right? We're going,
that
actually,
was awesome.
And I threw a little bit of Captain Planet. In
yeah,
there
that
for
was.
you too.
Yeah, he's our hero.
But no, we got a lot of good Star Wars stuff to talk about today on the Legion front, on Star Wars general entertainment
Star
front,
Wars.
So we got a lot of good stuff. So thank you to everyone for providing that to us during our week off. Now before we get into the Legion news, because like I said, we got some good stuff there. What kind of stuff do we have for Star Wars, Matt?
Well, there's some comic books.
Oh, comic books. That's the
fine.
Best thing I've heard all day.
Yeah, comic books.
Okay,
No, the
moving
comic
on.
series are actually pretty good, but we don't really cover those. No, you posted this up, and you got to break the news to me earlier in that LJ Pena, what the heck? Sorry, I was going to mention him. Well, he's going to be going and writing for Impact X, so that's a little bit of Legion community news there.
He is, yeah. So, well, since you brought that up, let's just go talk about that.
Yeah, let me skip right ahead of that because I thought that was important. So he's going to be heading up kind of a community column.
So this is big news because these are two of our friends of the show that are now best friends of the show.
I was going to say, now here's my question.
Did they cut out the middleman?
Do your wife and your mistress meet up on the street?
Right? Like they're both our BFFs, but now Nick has stolen our do we have to go knife Nick in the stomach because he's stealing our girl? What's going on?
Are we going to downgrade him to side host status or?
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, which one gets to be?
No, but
or is this just a poly relationship now, where it's we all love each other?
I feel like maybe we got the side piece treatment.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we just ended up getting.
This is fantastic because
it's like when you introduce your girlfriend to your best female friend from high school, and they both decide that they're going to go hook up. and like ditch you.
Unfortunately, that's something.
Tell me more.
I would like to subscribe to your newsletter.
This sounds intriguing.
No, but it's awesome that they're collaborating on stuff because I mean,
you
Nick
got
Freeman's
two
one
worlds
of the,
there. You got your super analytics guy, and then you got your community builder guy. So I'm excited to see what kind of content they start pushing.
For sure.
Which one was which? Because I mean, they both fill the same. I mean, they both do that. Nick builds the community and does. I mean, LJ, not for nothing, came in here and gave us 45 minutes of stat.
That's fair. They do have some back and forth. I do consider Mr. Freeman the more number crunchy of the two.
Sure.
But,
they're both, extremely versatile, and thankfully neither of them have podcasts. Otherwise, we would be out of a job. Well, this isn't our job, but
right. I don't know. There's quite a few podcasts that have been sprouting up.
Yeah.
All quality shows.
Yeah.
So we may be out of a job soon anyways.
Because that's what it is. There can be only one. It's Highlander status. You silly man.
It's not Highlander?
But anyways, back to Star Wars news. So Diego Luna is being tapped to come up with a prequel to Rogue One as a exclusive show on the Disney Plus streaming services coming out in 2019. Is it?
So super
very
stoked
cool.
about that.
Yeah,
because I loved that setting. That his character was awesome.
They left enough of his. They established enough of his character in Rogue One to make me really wonder. Oh, what was it like? Running up to that point. I kept hoping that we would run into him in like Rebels. In the TV show, not that you would watch that, but because his character is ostensibly out there going and doing rebel stuff. So I'm also excited that the real star of the show will probably be K2SO. So he's got to be in there, right?
Yeah, he has to, right? What I think is really cool about this is, like, if you think about the original Star Wars trilogy, like they never really, aside from like the holiday special, they never really delved into any TV story. They never did any TV or other movie stuff with the characters that were in these movies.
Yeah.
Occasionally you'd get like a couple of guys.
I'm sorry, the Caravan of Courage says otherwise, sir.
Oh, those are great movies.
Yeah.
The Ewok Adventures were amazing pieces of cinema. And we will
They totally stand up to the test of time.
Absolutely, they do.
Occasionally, the guys would just come in. They'd like mail in a couple of lines of voice acting for a video game, and that was it. But usually, if you saw something with the characters outside of those three movies, it was somebody doing voice acting, trying to sound like Harrison Ford poorly, or trying to sound like Princess Leia poorly. And you never. It's great to see these guys do the movies, but then also come back to do more stuff. I mean, I don't know what Diego Luna's got going on, but that's not an insignificant commitment to do a series like that.
But
especially if it takes off, and look at people like Kit Harington. He's pretty much done just Jon Snow for the last like 7 years.
Sure.
Emilia Clarke's kind of starting to branch out into a little bit of stuff, and Sophie Turner's doing the X-Men thing.
Well, her eyebrows went one direction.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
her face had to
Yeah.
Like
but
her
by
eyebrows.
and large, folks that are doing
They're
that kind
expressive.
of stuff aren't doing much outside of that. So to be able to commit to doing more Star Wars stuff for a long-term, long burn kind of thing,
we don't
is really
know
cool.
how long, but hopefully it'll be more than just like a mini series of like 10 or 13 episodes. But
now it is Disney, so the thing about Rogue One is that it put the war in Star Wars, right? So what tier of, and Rogue One was pretty gritty, like. What tier is this going to go on in the Disney spectrum?
Well,
right?
I think that one thing we've seen with Disney is they're not afraid to. They don't make things explicit, but they're good at targeting a demographic and catering to that demographic. I think that Rogue One was a great example of adult entertainment. Mm-hmm. And I mean that with gritty setting, realistic warfare. Still they had the character development, things like that, but it was a good, portrayal of battle in Star Wars, where Rebels is obviously aimed at a more teen demographic.
But it's
Resistance
very violent.
is like 5-year-olds.
Like they killed like 50 stormtroopers in the first episode. I mean, it wasn't explicit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they murdered a bunch of people in that movie.
Sure, I'm
during that
saying,
show.
even though it's Disney, I'm not afraid. I'm not going to immediately jump on the, this is going to be
Sure.
childish.
But I mean, if you look at, if you, it's got the tone of the show has to match the tone of the rest of the service, right? And it's a streaming service, so maybe they can get away with it. But they're not going to run cutesy, family-friendly stuff on this streaming service.
They've already got that.
And then put something super gritty and violent on the same stream where kids can just click right through it.
Oh, or they do it like Netflix, and like you have your children's stream, and then you have everything else on Netflix.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, between this and The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
honestly, it gives me some thought that maybe I will get this Disney Plus service.
I'm absolutely. As soon as they announced it, I knew I was going to be getting it. So,
This segment brought to you by Disney.
yeah, thank you. Yes, my mouse ears are growing right now. But I mean, so much of my current content is consumed that is under the Disney umbrella. Marvel Cinematic,
Sure.
Star Wars.
Well, you guys do
Plus,
you,
I
and
love
you-
Disney movies.
And
so.
you guys can pay for it. I will find
will.
all the places on Reddit where I will
That's
watch
fine.
it
You
for
be
free.
that guy. You're an
Because-
industry guy, and you're cutting the industry out of it.
I am.
Man,
Yeah.
that's horrible.
It's called cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the FCC is going to be making a stop at Josh's
see.
house tonight.
Yeah,
After this podcast
Hello.
airs.
But so that's exciting news. Also, just on a side note, Josh was less enthusiastic about this than I was, but recent interview, Ron Howard did not dismiss the idea of ever coming back to do more Star Wars movies in the future. So,
But you are upset about that? Or you're not?
yeah, he's very poo-poo about anything.
About
solo
Ron
related.
Howard?
Yeah, I was like, Ron Howard is a gift.
The man is a national treasure.
Yeah.
He's Opie. Show some respect.
So some respect, sir. So that would be cool if he came back. To do
Yeah,
some
I'd
more
be all for
movies.
that.
But that's kind of the big stuff for Star Wars news.
Nice. So that's a good amount of Star Wars news.
Yeah, fantastic. And I'm very excited that they're going to have more than just The Mandalorian. One of the guys, I was talking to Daniel before you guys showed up, and he's like, oh, so much for putting the brakes on, the Star Wars Express. I was like, well, if they're going to have a streaming service, it's going to be anything like Netflix. You're going to need to have multiple projects
Sure.
because if you're going to drop season 1 and then let it for people to binge through, it's going to be a long time before, it comes around again for season 2.
Yep.
You need something else to fill in those gaps. So
Yeah.
it sounds like this will be a good way to go.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see more on that. And then Disney Plus won't be available till what, next year?
Yeah, next year, I believe. But so we'll see. I'm sure we'll have some more, shows getting popped up for that. But other Legion news. So we have release dates for Palpatine and Royal Guard.
Yeah, so all of a sudden the Legion stuff just started throttling up here pretty soon. Like,
yeah,
it
and
seemed like
legitimately, Italy is going to have it before us.
didn't we talk to somebody on the, or I think I talked to somebody on the Legion
somebody online,
page.
yeah.
And they had a release date for it already, but
Yep.
I think haven't some people already gotten their stuff?
Oh, I don't know. Well,
Some have.
some cards came from somewhere, but so we're getting ours on the 23rd,
Okay,
which is a Friday.
so a day before Italy, or
No,
a day after
after,
Italy.
because apparently people are going to be celebrating something in the States on the 22nd and probably won't be buying.
The 22nd of November. Remember
could
the
be?
22nd of November.
And all
what
the
it is?
turkeys that gave their lives for us on that day. So yeah, they're actually pushing back their normal Thursday release because it is Thanksgiving
Okay.
to the next day. So Black Friday will be the day.
I know what I'm thankful for.
So basically, what you're telling me is that Power 9 is going to have a throng of people outside at midnight waiting for that
Right.
Black Friday release.
Oh yeah, with the Emperor, it will be
Palpatine.
the blackest Friday.
Oh,
yeah,
right. Well, gee.
yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that may be the only Black Friday shopping that I do.
I spent $500 on board games last Black Friday. Yeah, you remember we were in here and bought a bunch of stuff from you.
Appreciate you, boo.
Yeah. So I will be spending $450 this year.
That's a lot of Imperial Royal Guard.
No. The 50 less will be the Royal Guard that I buy.
Gotcha.
I will definitely be buying those though because I'm excited for them. And well, we'll talk about it in a little bit. What exactly the rules and stuff that have been kind
So
of
hopefully
slowly
it should
trickling out.
be Chewie and the Wookiees next month, and then we'll hopefully have the specialists by then. What's after that? I don't know.
The Shadow knows.
The Shadow knows. Yeah. Hey, Shadow, if you could write into the show and let us know what's coming up after that, because that leaves February wide open. But that's supposed to be month 12 of the 12 months of releases, and we don't know. Did you know that Palpatine, according to my notes, was spoiled back in July?
Really?
Yeah.
Not long ago, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a
like a
while.
while
Well,
ago.
I feel like all of that stuff kind of dropped right around Gen Con, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because Gen Con was kind of like a mass
Maybe
release.
February will be the new core set.
Yeah.
That would be, it'd be a good time to drop
I
it.
would not be opposed
It would be
to that.
2019. I doubt it, but that would be fantastic.
I think the game could really use another vehicle on each side.
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
something that's
Something all-terrain.
yeah.
Get comfy.
Yeah.
A Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Ooh,
If you want, that's okay.
but they could use it.
But yeah, that's all that stuff will be out then before LVO, so we'll get a decent amount of time to actually play with that stuff before LVO comes out.
Very exciting.
We're getting more and more information from LVO.
Speaking of LVO,
Yeah.
back into
Segue.
the community. Back into community news.
Yeah, so LJ has kind of been keeping us. He's been running the whole LVO thing,
Mm-hmm,
and you know, keeping the Legion community up to date on it. And it looks like we're up to 50 now,
Hornswoggle?
right? So 50, like it's sold out now. We're at 50.
50 people. And as a result, they have opened up for 6 people to go to Worlds. So,
Which is what
Not to Worlds,
or
to the High Command and Adepticon,
yeah, blah blah blah.
and then
Yes.
So, but still, 6 slots up for grabs.
Yeah, which is, if you break down 50 people, should be like all the people to go for now.
Okay, so I won't be one of those people, but for those,
No. I will not be one of those people.
6
Josh will not be.
I was going to
Contestants.
say, it's great to see there's going to be that many people.
I'm
for
hoping
me
at
to
least one
watch.
person from Vegas will be getting in there.
Look at all the people that I'm going to get to watch get invitations to the High
Yay.
Command thing. Yeah,
Right?
It's awesome.
Should be a lot of fun. But as such, each of the tournaments we're running here now, the monthly ones we do, we're going to be practicing like it's LVO. So with the extra barricade placements and things like that. So up until the event.
So who's going to be like the Nick Freeman like practice team player that we practice against and they kick our ass?
I'm going to say
completely?
Daniel at this point. So
Okay.
probably.
yeah, I need to get him. I was supposed to play him earlier, and I'm really upset I didn't.
We
get
need
to,
like
but-
the Freeman Bot 3000 to just come in here and just beat all of our asses.
Well, we probably just need
with
to
like
hit him up
totally
on
jank lists.
TTS or something.
Yeah.
Well, he did put his list out that he's
Yeah, I
looking at
saw
running
that.
at LVO
Yeah.
today. Did
Oh.
you
Well,
see
he
that?
said that he's gonna. That's the one he's kind of leaning towards. He didn't say this is what he's bringing for sure.
Well,
but-
then he said, "Hey, how would you destroy this list?"
Yeah. And I was sitting there getting ready
Is
to
it
type
6
in,
snow
I'd
troopers
flip
and
the
Vader?
table, and like 3 other people had already beat me to flip the table.
Yeah, there you go.
So yay.
Be more original next time.
Look, who are you talking to?
But yeah, his list for those of you guys who haven't seen it, he was looking at doing a double Imperial Royal Guard with
Nice.
Vader,
Okay.
2 units of Snow Troopers, 2 units of Stormtroopers, and I think that was it, wasn't it?
So
That's pretty
might have had a
pretty
couple of
full
sniper
right there.
teams
So
in
that's
there.
400.
yeah.
Depends on how he has those.
I mean, I feel like he had,
there's a few
kinda
points left in
kitted
there,
out,
but
but
let's see like some bikes in there or something.
Mm-hmm.
it was overall a very close combat heavy list, which
Yeah.
You like those?
Have I not made that readily
Yeah.
apparent?
Well, I don't know. So just to throw him under the bus a little bit. Well, and hey, thanks for coming out and supporting the 40K Grand Tournament we had last weekend. How'd you make out there, buddy?
I actually did a lot better than I thought I was going to do.
Yeah, he's actually turns out he's a better 40K player than he is Legion. He hasn't played
good thing he
40K in
hates the
forever.
game.
Yeah.
I do.
He absolutely despises 40K.
As I'm winning a game, I'm literally like, this is the worst game I've ever
I
played.
think I called you the biggest butthurt snowflake I've ever met, because you were so bitterly weeping. as
Millennial
you-
John?
yeah,
No.
You know, for anybody who wants to,
He had like 3 models left on the table and won the game.
I had like 4 games.
And
where
he
that
told
happened.
me
Yeah.
about one of the games that he
Yeah.
played, and it sounded like an absolutely miserable experience. Winning or no, it sounded to me like the most unfun game
Weeping
anybody's ever
bitter
won.
tears of frustration.
Yeah, for anybody who wants to, reflect on how well balanced Star Wars Legion is, go play a game of 40K in a
geez.
tournament with an all Adeptus Custodes list. Because it will be 1 turn of you running towards them, and then 5 turns of them shooting at you from elevated positions, and you making armor saves.
But apparently this was my fault that he was doing this poorly because I came by to see how my good buddy John was doing, and I got chased away from the table because apparently I was a bad luck albatross.
You are like the albatross of all albatrosses.
It's probably because my negative emotions for you not
albatross.
playing Legion at that time were affecting your dice.
It probably like your dice
my
luck
dark side, yeah.
that you normally have when we play Legion together just carried over to jinxing me while playing.
I'm okay with that. That's fine.
Like he would attack and like he would throw d6s, but by the time they had stopped tumbling, they were black dice and they were all blanks.
Oh,
is that how that works?
Basically, yeah.
So Nick Freeman's list. Now that we're done filibustering here, we're looking at Darth Vader with reflexes, push, and saber throw.
Nice.
Snow troopers with flamethrower, extra snow trooper, recon intel, and frag grenades. We'll talk about those cards coming up.
Oh yeah.
So we will.
He had
Spicy.
2 units of those.
Nice. Okay.
2 units of stormtroopers with DLT, extra stormtrooper, recon intel, and impact grenades.
Oh, those recon intels, huh?
I guess he's going to be buying a lot of. Crayola troops.
Well,
I sold a couple more before we.
He's got 2 of them in here with both with tenacity, and both with the Electro Staff Guard, and both have recon intel.
Jesus.
So he's basically running a fairly small list. He got a 7-point bid, 793 is the
Can
total
Vader
point.
have the recon intel?
No. But that list is going to be in your face quick.
I dig it.
It is, and I like it. Honestly, that's kind of how I want to run the Rebel forces with the Wookiees. Of course, these are probably better for it, and the Wookiees aren't probably going to get shot off the table.
No, that was
much
one
earlier,
of the. We'll talk about this more in the next segment. That was one of the things that we were like, dude, Wookiees and like Luke would be really good. That'd be a lot of fun.
But that's what he was looking at. Just throwing out there. I don't know if that's what he's bringing to LVO, but that was the list that he threw out there. So
it's a fun list to chew on a little.
It is, yeah. So if you guys have any hard counters for that, go on the Star Wars Legion page, hit him up,
and tell Nick why he's wrong.
Yeah, which I mean, I still have yet to see anyone do that properly.
Too smart.
That list is basically a drunk Ron Burgundy because it wants to be on you. I want to be.
Say there's such a thing as a sober Ron Burgundy.
Oh well, yeah, valid, but I want to be on you.
Scotch.
Wait, let me try that again. I want to be on you.
Scotch.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we're going to look at the newest cards that are going to be released or previewed in the Palpatine and Imperial Royal Guard set.
Tune in every Wednesday to Radio Free Tatooine, a Star Wars podcast that's better than some and worse than others. Take a trip to a water cooler far, far away as we bring some casual, fun conversation into the Star Wars podcasting community. Hosted by me, Sean, my sister Amy, and John. Radio Free Tatooine. We may not know what we're talking about, but we sure know how to record it. For more, visit RadioFreeTatooine.com, a proud member of the Radio Free Tatooine Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network, recorded on location at Power 9 Games. Whether you're looking for the latest releases from Legion, X-Wing, 40K, Magic, or any of our other extensive inventory of board and card games, head to power9games.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER10 to get 10% off your order. Plus, shipping is free on orders over $100. Now, back to the Outriders.
We're back, Outriders. John, Josh, and Matt. Time to talk about Sheev Palpatine and
Sheevy.
Do it.
and his Imperial Royal Guard, the Royal Crayolas, if you will.
I won't. No.
Okay, then you won't.
I will.
But we will.
Crayola Guard.
So
get your staff of Ra over here.
So we've had about 4 months, I guess, to kind of lull over the stuff that was previewed already.
Mull.
There we go. Yeah. Mull in the lull.
Lull.
There was a lull, and then we mulled during that lull.
Okay.
Anyway, they had one of the or two of the cards that were previewed.
We were like, "Wow, this guy's expensive. I hope those other cards are amazing."
Yeah, and we saw the entire Legion, the command card that he had, which is the one that allows you to activate or to issue order tokens to every single
eligible unit.
Yeah,
which is every unit in range. Basically.
Exactly. Yeah,
which is entire Legion.
Yeah,
which is definitely awesome.
That is, but Nick Freeman brought up a good point that if you're doing your list right and managing your activations right, you have perfect control over your activations anyways.
Yes, but
we are not perfect people.
No, I
Josh.
know.
What happens
Not
if,
like you.
if you really want to run, one sniper team and then an ATST and then
a mixed arms army? Like I love playing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like then you
Well,
have
if you really want to lose, you can do that. But
either way, this mitigates some of that randomness.
I understand what you mean. It's
an effective
gives you
card.
some freedom, but it's that freedom for one turn. It's nice, but meh.
Okay.
But by the time you get to subsequent turns, all your stuff's dead, so that kind of windows down your options.
Sure.
So anyway, so that's the 3-pip card. And we also saw the "and now you will die" card.
Which basically turns him into a death blossom.
It does.
Which is awesome.
It is.
Where he's just
a
like
donut of destruction. Yes.
Yeah, which, in the correct moments, later in a game or something like that, if you get him at range 1 stuff, you just, kill everything on the board.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome card.
That'll be great.
The 2-pip card was one that was a mystery up until this past week.
This is such jank. This is just such, great. Love it.
And honestly, this might be...
Somebody just took a shot. We got notified that somebody plays a drinking game with us, and every time we say Barricada, Jank, or Meta, they take a shot.
And they just took 3
and I just,
more.
there
they
it
just
is.
took 3 more. Does it count?
You're going to the hospital, buddy.
The game?
We can't be blamed for anyone's alcohol poisoning, can we?
Absolutely, because meta, jank, jank.
Barricada.
Drink up, yeah. There you go. Thank you, thank you.
All right, so
just put a nipple on the bottle and go to town, guys.
The 2-pip card is given to your anger, and this one, Matt, you want to read it for us because you get the card in front of you.
It is for Emperor Palpatine, Mr. Sheev, the Senate. Before an opponent would activate their first unit, you may choose an enemy trooper unit. If you do, your opponent must activate that unit instead. Assign it an order token from its order pool unless it has a face-up order token. At the end of that unit's activation, if it did not perform an attack, it gains 4 suppression tokens.
God damn.
So we already know that
what did I just
suppression management is a huge part of the game. Mm-hmm. And
oh man,
when you have the ability to throw 4 suppression tokens on any trooper you want, basically turn 1.
That scout squad over there on the flank by itself,
right outside of command range of anything, with no morale, panic it.
Hey, buddy.
Now obviously it's after it activates.
Yeah.
And scouts might not be the best thing for that because,
yeah.
If it's a scout, hopefully they put a sniper rifle on it and they'll be able to perform an attack. But, you get some of these lists that are only running 1 commander. You get a board set up like Disarray where you've got to put units in corners.
Yeah.
That's tasty. Being able to dump enough suppression onto a unit to maybe panic it off the board turn 2. Oof, man, that's good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one, and I think he may have the commanders we've seen so far. He may have the best combination of 3 command cards. I think.
Yeah, and I
like
think,
him a lot,
especially if you're running him with Royal Guard. He synergizes really well with Royal Guard. Mm-hmm. The pull the strings. Take one of your actions and you're basically giving another unit another action.
Yeah.
But what that basically allows you to do, you can pull the strings on a Royal Guard unit, let it take a triple move, and then with a charge perform a melee attack. You're basically slingshotting a unit halfway across the board. It's really good.
And it's not a list that you imagine would be fast.
No.
Until you see something like that.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of play. Do you think it's worth the points now that we kind of seen everything?
It depends on, and here's what it's going to depend on. Right now we see a lot of lists that are 13, 12, 11 activations, right? How much are we going to start to see points come down and activations come down once Wookiees are out, Chewbacca's out?
Mm-hmm. I think we're already starting to see that,
right? But again, there are people talking about putting units out there that are 13 activations. But the list that Nick has just been talking about is what, 8?
Less than that.
Less than that.
It was 2 stormtroopers, 2 snowtroopers, so that's 4.
That's 4.
You got
2 Royal Guards
and Vader, so 7. Yeah.
Okay, so is it worth the point cost? It depends on how many really, really high activation lists that you see out there.
Yeah.
Because volume of fire, if I've got a bunch of stormtroopers with DLTs, and he's out in the open and I have shots, he's probably going to die relatively quickly. It seems like Boba Fett, where it's another one of those low floor, high ceiling kind of units, that if you can use it the right way and the way that it's supposed to be used, it's going to wreck. But you make one mistake with it and it's gone.
I will intercept these transmissions.
Right? Yeah.
But he's a very survivable unit, though.
With Guardian, sure.
Even without, I mean, he's still saving with red dice,
Yeah.
and he's got surge to defense.
So does Boba Fett. But look how quickly Boba Fett falls to concentrated fire.
Yeah.
I mean, the dice will fail you, right? Never trust the dice to save you. Because they will always fail you when you most need them.
Life lessons from
Yeah.
Joshua
Wow,
Gray.
that's-
Words of wisdom.
So deep.
Way to
know,
way
right?
to way to bring the show down, Josh. Jeez.
Again, for the second time in the show, have you met me?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Never mind.
who are you
Yeah,
talking
never
to?
mind. I think he looks really good. I'm gonna play the crap out of him. I'm subscribing to the I need 3 Royal Guards, and we'll fill in stormtroopers around the rest.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking I'm going to get 3 Royal Guard and 3 Wookiees, just to be able to play the.
So you are back on the Empire side of the thing.
I've said from the day that these were released, or the news of these were released, I do plan on getting the Royal Guard and Emperor. Like I think it's an awesome playlist.
But I think we've hit that kind of tipping point where we're talking about not just like fine tuning, what kind of trooper are you going to take, but like these are going to be performing drastically different than the other lists like that we had at launch. So Wookiees, Imperial Guards, these are going to be way different armies to play than we've had in the last, 7 months, 8 months, something like that.
Well, I mean, because really nobody has any experience in how do you defend against a melee charge.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
3 units just melee right into your face.
When a bunch
how do you counter that?
Yeah.
I mean,
While still getting objectives.
And we've seen Luke and Vader being able to do that, but really it's been one person
unit.
Yeah,
threat.
one guy. Yeah.
You've never had to worry about an entire force of close combat specialists or things that can kill you within range one.
Oh crap! Yeah.
So, along with that, we've seen some previews for some of the cards coming out now
For the Imperial Guard.
Oh
yeah. So
there isn't really a
Let's
whole
look
lot.
over
I don't think the article really showed us a whole lot from the Palpatine thing that we hadn't really seen before, with the exception of maybe Anger.
Anger's cool.
Anger is cool.
Yeah.
Like.
It seems like it was made for Vader and Palp. So.
Yeah.
Well, it was especially made. It seems like it's a great card to put on the "And Now You Will Die," because getting an aim token after you take a wound, well, after that first attack on "And Now You Will Die,"
I do
you get a
like that
wound.
it says dark
So
side
it gives
only
you,
too.
Yeah. So it gives you it gives you an aim token every time you take a damage for doing "And Now You Will Die."
yeah.
Which basically makes it an even better Death Blossom.
Yes, I mean, after that first time, you're
right.
going to wreck.
I love that the art they used is from Vader walking down the corridor in Rogue
Yes.
One, just chopping people.
Well, it's actually the artwork. They've recycled that artwork.
Have they? Okay.
That was the Darth Vader crew card artwork from X-Wing.
When did that come out? Was
Oh,
it
geez,
post-Rogue
that
One,
came
or-
out like 5 years before Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
Which
Well,
was
never mind
funny
then.
because
That is kind of funny.
they actually did a scene in Rogue One, and that was the big discussion at the time. Is like, hey, look, what does FFG know?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Chopping bicycle helmets like it's cool.
Right?
Either that or somebody who made Rogue One plays X-Wing and
Oh,
saw the
man,
card and
that's
was
it.
Yeah,
like,
I thought let's do that.
let's design a scene to around this painting, which either way it worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, Imperial Royal Guard have some cards that came out with it, and one of them that seemed to be used a lot in Nick Freeman's list was Recon Intel.
Yeah.
And God, this is a good card.
it is.
I really dig this one. I think the points are spot on. So it's 2 points.
Spot
and-
on. It
yeah.
could be more, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I paid 5 points for it.
Really?
I would.
Ugh, I don't know.
Just-
that adds up really fast.
Yeah, it adds up really fast, but think about what you're getting out of it. I mean,
Speed 1 move.
yeah, a speed 1 move.
So, yeah, it gives you
but
Scout 1,
It gets you
and
that
it's
much
your
closer to objectives.
Hardware upgrade slot.
But
And-
good.
A lot of talk has been made about, the cards are intended to be used for the unit that it comes with, right?
I've
This
never
is-
heard that before. I'm just kidding. Please continue.
Thank you. this is one of the first cards, and yeah, you look at like environmental gear, and like, yeah, it'd be great to put that on everything, but this looks like it's one of those cards that it's the first card that's come out that makes you want to buy like 7 of these units so you can put it on as many units as possible because of the point cost and because of the utility.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to put every unit in your army at a range 1 move closer to objectives is huge.
Yeah. Specifically talking to Daniel before he came in, he just upped his pre-order quantity to 3 of the Royal Guards.
Right. I mean,
and I was like, so what's the list going to look like? It's like, oh, stormtroopers, you know, sniper teams, all this stuff. What about the Royal Guards? Oh, I'm not playing them. I'm just getting the upgrade cards. I was blew my mind. I was like, why would you? What?
Yeah.
So Palps with all the other stuff, but. Yeah, so I'm hoping, I'm sure Wookiee Warriors are probably going to come out with this upgrade as well, so Rebels will get it as well.
But yeah, it's a really versatile card, and as somebody who loves
2-point
movement,
Scout 1 is pretty.
I love
pretty
movement
awesome.
shenanigans.
That's
and
really
I think,
good.
especially in an army. If you're planning on like Nick Freeman's list, you know, getting in close and doing some damage that way. I mean that, 2 points to the ability to get a free move is huge.
Big.
Too bad that Vader can't get like Wi-Fi on his, exo suit, so he could get that because he could benefit from a Scout 1, I think.
So with the other card that we saw kind of used quite a bit in his list was the Fragmentation Grenade, and I really like what this one does. This one kind of.
I love that it's got Death Trooper in the art.
Yeah, we'll see them. I'm sure.
I'm sure eventually.
Eventually,
yeah.
Right.
Maybe that's our February release.
Oh God, I hope
that'd be awesome.
Death Troopers.
This game doesn't need more troops.
Sure it does.
You gotta have troops.
Troops.
We need more vehicles.
troops.
Because running the same 2 vehicles gets boring.
Yeah, some more vehicles would be nice.
Give me my TIE tank, damn it.
Go play X-Wing if you want to play.
So we're going to get Death
Don't
Troopers,
tempt me.
and then the Rebels are going to get the guy with the radar gun up in the tower.
John?
It's going to come with the tower. You put it on the table.
Don't you
tomorrow.
threaten me with a good time.
So Fragmentation Grenades kind of fill a unique role, almost like in between what you get from the impact grenades and the
a little bit more fine tuning, in whatever role. But 5 points grenade slot, and you're throwing. Is that a red dice?
Yeah, red die.
A red die.
So you're gonna hit. You're doing damage.
Surges for a crit.
Yep.
I dig it.
So what's great about it is it's a hybrid concussion grenade and impact grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you throw 5 impact grenades and it's impact 5. And you're getting that right off the bat. With this, you've got essentially a 25% chance to do damage to armor.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got a 25% chance to evade cover, to negate cover. Because that's what, crits don't get through cover. So it's, concussion grenades get blast, and you're automatically through the cover. 2 of these hit, and you're through the cover. Pretty much, depending on what it is. And depending on what a unit you put it on. If you're able to put it on a unit, like if you run a full scout unit. Do scouts get grenades?
I don't think
so. Disregard. Forget that last part.
Well, I think from being a Rebel player for the most part, I look at those and I'm like, wow, this will actually give Rebel troopers the ability to hit on crits. Or, I'm sorry, hit on surges.
Yeah.
Because, stormtroopers, they'll hit on a surge. Yeah, it's not a crit, but at least they'll hit on a surge anyway.
Right.
Rebel troopers don't. So this actually allows you to not only, have a red die, but this allows you to actually hit on surges.
What's the stats on the card? What's the text on the card?
So it's when this weapon is in your attack pool,
Rebel
you
commandos get
gain
grenades.
surge to crit.
Say that again?
When this weapon's in your attack pool, you gain surge to crit.
Okay, so you can throw 1 grenade. I don't know why you would throw 1 grenade, but so that gives you the ability to surge to crits at range 1.
Yeah.
Which is valuable for Rebel troopers.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, yes, scouts do get grenades.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
I just never considered putting them on there, so...
Right, but if you've got a full unit of scouts...
Yeah.
If you run the full unit of scouts, and then being able to put that on there, that's a unit that's got sharpshooter, so you can bring cover down, and then also get through that last piece of cover with either a surge or a crit, a natural crit. So,
do you know what fragmentation grenades are really good at?
Fragmenting?
What?
Yes, also, but especially when you toss them straight up in the air and then T-47s fly into them. So that's what they're especially good
That's
at.
my favorite thing to do to
Yeah.
T-47s.
Yes.
So we're seeing
I dig them.
other ways.
It's cool. Red dice, nice.
Yeah, we're seeing other ways to make regular troops more effective in close range.
Yeah.
So I'm
and
all for
with
that.
with the red die, I don't know why you wouldn't take them.
Yeah.
You lose the guaranteed 5 armor. Impact 5, impact 6. But impact doesn't do you a lot of good, especially as rebel troopers, if you're rolling a 50-50 on the black die and getting a bunch of surges and you can't do anything with it.
Since you take grenades on your snowtroopers, are you going to take these guys now? Or are you going to stick with the... Oh, okay.
A lot of it's going to depend, frankly, on how much armor we continue to see going forward. Mm-hmm. Once Wookiees and Royal Guard are out, if there's not a lot of armor out there, then absolutely I'm going to go with those, just because of the fact that I don't need Impact 6 because there's no armor, right?
Sure.
I don't see why you wouldn't, and especially like I said with the red die over a black die, I don't see why not.
Okay.
So the other general card that we saw with this that's probably going to be out in the Wookiee set too is Tenacity.
Oh yeah.
And
we'd already seen that.
It's got a Wookiee on the picture.
Yeah. So we already know about that one, and I mean that looks like it's going to have a lot of cool impact with both Royal Guard and the Wookiees. And then Electro Staff, we saw that too.
Right.
Yep.
Previewed,
It basically makes you
immune
lightsaber
pierce.
immune.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But it's only in melee, so you can still get pierced through on Han and Leia, but you can't get pierced through.
I failed to make that distinction. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, Saber Throw too.
That's not a melee attack.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it doesn't make you.
Yeah, so when defending against a melee attack, you gain immune to pierce. So yeah, that's gonna change things. So
haha, you thought we were dueling, but no, I'm throwing my lightsaber.
So yeah, that's
what I imagine that sounds like on the battlefield.
Whose voice sounds like that though?
Haha, I'm Luke Skywalker.
Well, have you heard David Prowse's voice? Have you heard the original Darth Vader voice?
Yeah,
that's true.
It's so cartoonishly bad. I almost want to see the entire
it was Scrooge
first
McDuck
movie.
or something.
Yeah. very posh.
Poor
British
Mr.
accents.
Prowse. I thought he was Scottish.
No, it's.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay, maybe not.
I don't know.
I have no idea, but that voice sounded like the little lad who loves berries and cream from the old Starburst commercial.
But I do. But yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff coming very shortly, and I want them in my hands right now so I can play with them.
Well, either you move to Italy and get them a day early, or you can.
That seems like a
wait
fair
patiently.
trade.
Or you start apparently ordering from Amazon, which gets it to you there.
No.
I know.
I mean, they advertise that stuff, but very rarely.
It seems
does
like
that.
everybody who orders it online from Amazon ends up getting it like 3 days before release. I mean, that's where these cards came from that we're looking at the picture. Somebody's already had their Royal Guard delivered to them.
I'm never going to advocate.
Well, Fantasy
buying
Flight's going to
things
track
on
them down
Amazon,
and kill them
though.
because that's what they're doing.
Fantasy Flight's going to hunt down Amazon and kill them?
Like Jeff
No.
Bezos?
They've. This is actually an interesting discussion we had at the retailers forum last year. It was basically Asmodee and Fantasy Flight's stance on, they have a agreed price that this stuff can be discounted towards and no further, which I think is 15%. And then the fact that they're working heavily with Amazon. They have guys that work with them to go and find out who are breaking this map policy or shipping early, doing those things, and then they're losing their ability to sell Fantasy Light products. So, hey, cool, you guys got a little early, but it's probably not great for the long run health of whatever online business you're running.
So it wasn't Amazon directly shipping to these consumers? Okay.
No. They've got a pretty ironclad agreement with Amazon, to the best of my understanding. So this is according to the panel I sat in on, but that's about it.
Yeah, a little inside baseball from Matt.
Yeah, this is from February of last year. So who knows what's changed? We'll find out this year. But they've been trying. They've talked a good game about going after these guys.
So Matt, how are you gonna paint up, or Josh, how are you gonna paint up your?
Yeah, so why are you asking me? How are you gonna paint up my stuff?
Well, I was playing around with color shift.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Not a clue.
So if you want to get the
black pads and purple robes,
yeah, I don't know.
So looking at those, like, I think I might do them kind of in the same way I did the cloaks for my custodes.
Oh, okay.
So for anybody who's actually seen my army, so it's the two of us.
It's in the case out there. Josh, you can go look. There'll be 3 of us then.
Okay.
The
right back.
the red cloaks
Scamper.
have like a really nice satin finish on them, where they have a kind of shimmer. Like it's not like a flat red.
A rich velour.
Yeah.
Rich Corinthian leather.
Rich Corinthian leather.
So I basically got that by undercoating with one of Citadel's technical metallic sprays, the Retributor armor.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
spraying it gold underneath and then painting.
So you were just priming and you said, hey, this actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
okay. Look, half of my painting stuff either stems from one of two things. Either watching Duncan or watching Sarastro or something like that.
Then your paint's
or be happy accidents. And actually, this was a happy accident combination of the two. It was thinning my paints, thanks Duncan, and just, happy accident of painting that, normal red on top of the metallic gold. And it just...
it strikes me now that we should do like our own like Hell's Kitchen of painting, and you just walk around screaming at people to
that would be
their
great.
paint.
I would love that.
We should totally do that.
You should be embarrassed to put this on the table. Or you call that an undercoat?
Better yet, because I'm not that good at just being mean to people.
We'll come up with the script.
I think we'll do this. Yeah. Josh can be my angry translator.
Yes, I will be your angry translator.
So like I will walk by and just like judgingly look at someone, and then just and then just like nod at Josh.
Hey, I think your paints are a little too thick, and I'll be like, "What the hell is this? I would be ashamed to put this on a table." Like just pick it up and throw it across the room. That'd be great.
Or we could do our own like American Idol setup, like. I mean, only based on the cast that I remember, which was Randy Jackson, Paul Abdul, and the angry British guy,
Simon Cowell.
Yeah, so yeah. I'll be Paul Abdul in the middle. Just like,
of course you will, because you're so pretty.
It's so nice. You did a great job.
Yeah.
And
what's that camo scheme supposed to be? Hiding in a pile of poop?
No, that's got to be Josh. Josh has to be. He has to be Simon Cowell, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
What'd you paint this with? A Hershey bar? Oh my God, this is terrible.
Oh, that leaves me to be Randy. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a no for me, dog.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
The funny thing is you're now the second person in my life that has said I could be their anger translator, which I don't know if
that's a heady responsibility.
I don't know if that's an honor or like not a good thing, but yeah.
Hey, make money however you can, man.
Take the jobs that nobody else wants.
Yeah.
But, exciting stuff from Legion, Star Wars in general. We need to get more games in.
Starting next week.
Yes.
Here it comes. Yep.
Well,
I'm putting folks on notice that it's like, all right, it's go time. It's time to prep.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna get that Rocky training montage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come in here with my Wookiee suit for the next every day for the next 3 months.
Dude, you need to wash that.
Like you're coming over, right, John? You're gonna come over and we're gonna play.
I mean,
talk about sports while you do cool things.
Got the conference room at work, conference table at work.
That's true.
Set it up.
I don't know how well it's going to go over with everyone else that works with us. That's not.
What are they going to do? Fire me? Oh wait, I'm still probationary. Shit.
Well, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for us this week, guys. Thanks for sticking around with us and bearing with us on our week off. And
thanks for coming back. If you did.
All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you next week.
You've been listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
For more from the Outriders, make sure you like us on Twitter @Legion Outriders, subscribe to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Legion Outriders, and make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Thanks for listening.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.